Savior of the universe.
I'm gonna have to go in and like do some stuff to that.
Good.
Because that was unexpected.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot,
that was
actually.
the plan.
I wasn't expecting it, just like you're not about to expect. Hello and welcome to Nova Talks.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Well, that's how this podcast is made. Do you like this?
For our last episode, Dalton and I will end our lives with these cyanide pills, fed to each other gently like two baby birds.
There will be no video, only audio.
Just the sound of us gargling on our own spit.
That's depressing. I'm a little sad now, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
You put a damper on the
Woo!
on the whole podcast. I actually almost choked on my own spit just then. I really need to.
You're halfway there.
I need to calm down. Sorry, I was looking at our frame just to make sure we were actually in the frame. There you go. Now get out of the frame. Now come back in the frame. Now get out of the frame. No, I'm just kidding. Come back in. I'm just gonna edit you out of the whole thing.
Good. Good. That's what I want.
So yeah, this is Wednesday, not Tuesday. I know. I'm sorry. I forgot my laptop again. I forgot my laptop yesterday.
I keep forgetting.
But do you care? Probably not.
No.
All 5 people listening. I know they're just constantly looking at their phones on Tuesdays thinking, where's the podcast
Where is
at?
it? Where is it?
But here it is now. You're listening to it now, which is probably like Thursday or something. I don't know. Maybe you're listening to it on a Friday.
Maybe you'll listen to it next week.
Maybe you're listening to it in December of 2020.
Maybe our future descendants are listening to this.
And thinking,
Wondering,
oh no, where did we go wrong?
this is probably why the planet is in ruins right now.
Ooh, that's sad.
How this podcast survived, I'm not sure, but take heart, young ones. Entertainment has not left the building.
We should take all these podcasts and put them on cassettes and then bury them across the United States.
Yes.
One for
so
every
the
podcast.
necromancers wandering the wasteland can find them
Right.
and torture their victims.
They'll see these. They're like, what is this thing? This square thing with holes? What am I supposed to do with this? They'll have no idea.
Yeah.
And they'll look in their history
They'll have
books.
like a photo of my face on it going like,
Thanks for the thumbnail. I appreciate
Yeah.
I appreciate
you're welcome. I like to give you low effort thumbnail.
Right. Thank you for that.
You don't have to search very hard.
I don't even know what the title's going to be yet, and I'm already going to use that face that you made. So you can't just do stuff like that, Matt.
But you know what? I can, and I did. All right.
Okay.
Here's our topic for the day.
Oh, you're just going to throw it out there?
Yeah, I'm just going to get it out there.
Okay, I'm ready.
Because I know this is going to be some real hot takes.
Like a lot of hot takes?
It's like some real hot takes.
Okay, I'm ready.
And I plan for you to give the hottest take of them all because it's something that you said that sparked this in my mind.
When did I say this?
Whilst we were working on the farm,
Okay.
stacking wood.
Okay.
And you were like, man, have you heard that new 5 Finger Death Punch cover? It's real terrible.
Yeah.
And then we went and saw Godzilla. And then at the end of the movie, Godzilla, there was the cover of the song Godzilla.
Yeah, I realized
and
that.
both Lucian and I, who was watching the movie with us, were like, why can't they ever just use the original song for these things?
They have to create a whole new cover for it. Yeah.
And the cover was by Serge. I can never remember his last name, but it's the System of a Down.
Oh, the lead singer.
guy.
His name's not Sergio, is it?
No, it's S-E-R-J. Serge.
I'm on it.
I can't remember. His last name starts with a T, and I can't remember what it is.
System of a Down. Downed. System of a Down.
System of a Down.
System of a Down. Lead singer is what I'm going to type in. Serge Tankian.
Yes.
Tankian.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Sure.
I don't
I
know.
think it's Serg.
Serg?
Not Surge.
I was going to say Surge. Surge.
Sarge. No, Serg.
Serge
And I was like,
Tankian.
man,
What a strange fellow.
I respect that guy as a musician. He's pretty talented.
He is.
And he's very weird,
he is
but
very
I
strange.
hated that cover.
I didn't know that was him.
Yeah. I that's the only reason I stayed through all those credits. Because I had to see who did that cover.
And you wanted to know. Because I was
Yeah.
waiting, and I was like, is there going to be like a Marvel ending? Is that what's going to happen? And then there was.
There kind of was, yeah.
But I didn't know that was him. Have you ever listened to his, like, solo stuff,
A little bit.
it's like even stranger than
Yes.
System of a Down.
It is very weird.
I kind of like it though, but it is very strange.
Yeah.
So what do you
So, anyways,
what's the topic?
my topic today is why. This has nothing to do with the Godzilla cover because
No.
that's not like a song on an album. But why do bands feel compelled to do bad cover songs and then release them on albums?
Why do they choose to?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Or just, you know what, you can name a few. Because there's like some good ones, but most of the ones that I hear are just bad.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, the ones that are bad are the ones that you hear. The ones that are good are the ones you don't hear. Because
Oftentimes, yes.
the ones that are on the radio are always just like so polished and they sound so similar to the original track.
Yes.
It's just like with more guitars and more aggressive singing, but it's basically the same song, just more metal, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what you want to.
More metal.
I don't
Or
know
in
what
the
you
case
wanna-
of Weezer, it's copy pasta of the song.
Yeah,
just
like
with not Toto singing.
Right. It's just whatever his name is. I can't think of
Rivers
his
Cuomo.
Yeah. It's just his voice basically over top of the original track. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's probably
Awful
not, but it does
close.
sound exactly like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why Jack White comes up in every conversation that I
Because he does a lot of covers.
He does do a lot of covers. But I was listening to a BBC interview Jack and Brendan Benson did for the new Raconteurs album, and they did a cover. They did a Donovan cover on their album. I'm trying to think of what it's called. I don't remember what the song is called. But the interviewer was asking them, "Why did you choose to play this song?" And he was like, "It was actually just a song that I was listening to in the car." And I asked Brendan, I was like, "Hey, do you know this song?" And Brendan's like, "Yeah, I love that song." And they just played it before they started recording for one of the days, just to like loosen up and kind of, gel. And they liked it so much they just put it on the album. And that's the same case with every cover he's ever done. They just kind of started playing a cover song to loosen up, and they fell in love with it. And they're like, "Well, let's put it on the album," which I think is cooler than Five Finger.
Let's pick this cover song to do.
Yeah, and make it butt rock.
Butt rock.
So I don't know. I think the ones that end up on the radio, and I mean, Five Finger Death Punch.
This is like the fourth one they've done.
I probably couldn't tell you an original song. I couldn't name off an original song they've done. I could tell you all the covers well, maybe not all, but I could tell you a couple of covers that they've done. But I can't tell you an original song. I don't even know if I've heard an original song of Five Finger Death Punch.
Interesting.
Because they did this one, the Blue on Black, which they totally just completely destroyed. It's so bad. And I actually did like the original song. I can't think of the artist's name. But they did Bad Company.
I think that was them.
And then didn't they also do Turn the Page, or was that Metallica?
That was Metallica.
Okay. What do you think about that cover?
No, I don't like Bob Seger anyway.
Oh, okay.
But as far as covers go, that was also not that great.
Yeah, not good at all. I mean, you can. I mean, you can.
No
They
thanks.
did, but it's not as cool when you have a really cool sax part
Yeah.
in the original song and you turn it into a guitar solo.
Yeah. It's not going to work.
No.
Not going to work.
I don't know. What other ones do you have in mind that you want to bring to the table?
Well, I try to think of some ones that I actually did enjoy and figure out why I liked them. And I think the ones that I like more are the ones that sound almost nothing like the original.
Yes.
Like when Van Halen did "Dance in the Street,"
Yeah.
which is an old song. That one was like pretty dope.
Yeah, because they made it their own song.
It was all Van Halen.
I think that's really like it. Whenever you do covers, it's one thing when you're playing like a cover show, because people want to hear the songs they like. They don't really want to hear you put your own take on it, which happens,
Or at least
really anyways.
Yeah, they want to know what they're listening to.
Yes.
If you spin it a little bit, that's fine. They
Right.
just want to be able to
Sing along to it.
engage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But whenever you're putting a cover song on an album, I just feel like so easy to just do the exact same thing the other person did. It's way more
It
impressive.
requires zero thought.
It does. You're just like, all right, that's how it sounds. Let's just do the exact same thing they did,
Yeah.
and maybe throw a guitar solo in there, and that's pretty much it. 4 more rhythm guitars though.
Yes. More.
Is that just your Aaron with all the M&Ms in his mouth?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Now, speaking of
Game Grumps?
the Ninja Sex Party, I don't know how many people know them, but
If you don't know who Ninja Sex Party is, that's okay, because they're.
they did like the Fallon thing last year, which was cool.
Oh, did they get that big? I didn't know they did the Fallon thing.
Do you not remember that?
No, yes I do. Yes
Yeah.
I do. I remember you guys posted it and grouped me.
Yeah, they did the late night thing, which was like cool because it was like, hey, maybe mainstream media is finally learning to respect YouTube people. And then it was like, no, they didn't care.
No, they didn't care at all because the audio quality was really terrible. And
Yeah.
but I think that's the case for a lot of late night live bands. They just don't
Pretty
care
much.
about the audio at all. That or they just don't have the equipment, or maybe it just gets really compressed when they put it on television. I don't know. Either way, it never sounds good. It always sounds really bad. But yeah, Ninja Sex Party, they did that whole cover album, right?
Yeah, they have two cover albums.
Oh, I didn't know they
Under
had
the
two.
Covers Volume 1 and 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Like when I first heard them, I was like, hey, that's pretty neat. But then I was like, but all of your other stuff is so much better.
Well, the thing about them is, it's kind of the same thing with like Weezer. They're pretty much doing the song exactly the same.
Yeah. For the
as
most part.
I mean, they're even though a lot of the songs they're covering are 80s songs, I feel like they make it like even more like they like make the 80s. I don't know. They just do it bigger.
It's extra
It's
80s.
extra 80s. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's more of like an 80s caricature.
Well, I was really glad when they finally got Twerp to like play with them.
Yeah.
So that they actually had instruments on stuff.
Twerp is the backing band.
Yeah. Tupperware Remix Party.
I had no idea that's what it stood for.
Yes.
Okay.
But it was like, you finally have a band, but your cover songs is the first thing that comes out. And I was like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah.
Man. But then they did their own album after that.
And they have good songs.
Yeah.
That are actually really well written, and the music production is really good too, which
Indeed.
is a common trend in YouTubers.
Yes.
Some
care
are.
and thought goes into those things.
Right, exactly.
Rather than feed words into the machine and see what pops out.
Yeah, which is sad,
Blah.
and that's like just pop country music, but whatever, it's fine. we don't have to talk about that. See, now I'm trying to think of covers that I've heard that I've really liked, and you did bring up a good point about people that do covers, usually like pop covers. They'll take the pop cover and they'll slow it down and just do a really laid back cover.
That's like go-to number one for any fast pop song. If you're doing a cover, crank them BPMs way down.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of a hit or miss, really.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do a slow cover,
most of the times for me it's a miss.
Yeah, well, there are a couple that I do like that are more slowed down versions, but I think if you're gonna do that, you have to have like either a very skilled instrumentalist or a very unique voice.
Yeah.
Because one of the if it's just slowed down and you're kind of like monochromatic, then it's not very cool. You're gonna have to have something to break it up. Because if you slow a pop song down, it's gonna get really boring really fast because it's so repetitive. So it's funny because I showed you that Billie Jean cover of Billie Eilish.
You mean bad?
Or Bad, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no, never mind. That I'm totally wrong.
You just got Billy.
I'm totally Billie Jean, Billie Eilish.
Billy.
No. So it was two different Michael Jackson songs that I'm thinking about that artists have done. So that Billie Eilish song, the Billie Eilish cover of Bad, I thought was really good.
Yeah.
But mostly because she has such a unique voice, and it kind of had that like lounge sound to it.
Yeah.
It was really cool. You should check that out.
Well, they changed the music considerably anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
It was more like jazz swagger, I guess.
Yeah. Which it sounded cool. It like you said, it was not the same song anymore. They basically created a whole new song, which is awesome. Same case with the the Civil Wars. I don't know if I've ever played you that cover before.
Probably not.
But they did a cover of Billie Jean, which is what I was mixing up with. And they slowed it down a whole lot. And they both have like really haunting and raspy voices. So they kind of did the same thing Billie Eilish did. Of course, way before she did that. But they slowed it down and kind of had that like jazz feel to it. And I thought it was really cool. So yeah, you're making me think, Matt, about the covers that I can't.
Good.
What else have you? Can you think of any
like
others?
one of the? I think probably the only cover. Okay, I can think of two covers that were like really similar to the original. That
you enjoyed
was that one that Denzel Curry did a couple months ago of Bulls on Parade.
On yeah,
like a version thing.
Yes,
because it was like very similar, but he also threw in his own rap bit there in the middle.
Yeah,
so it had a little extra flair.
Sounds familiar.
But and then the Rax cover on Rich Kid Blues.
Oh, Rich Kid Blues, yeah. You know, I don't know if I've ever actually gone back and listened to
We did.
the original.
Yeah.
Did we?
I made you listen to it.
Oh, that's right, because it's very similar.
Yes.
Right. That's right, I remember now. I want to go back and listen to it again, though, so I can brush myself up on it.
Yeah. I can't remember that guy's name, but I'm going to look it up now because I need to know.
Please do, because I don't want you to have an aneurysm.
I will have an aneurysm. He was, I only remember him because he was almost the lead singer of Led Zeppelin.
Really?
Yes.
You see, now I feel like you have told me this before. I can't think of his name, though.
Terry Reid.
You did? Yep. That sounds very familiar.
Terry Reid. Yeah. Almost lead singer of Led Zeppelin.
That's crazy. That would have been a whole different band.
Oh, it would have been an
completely different band.
different band.
Speaking of the Rax, though, that new song that they're covering, the Donovan cover, they did the opposite. That Donovan cover is very laid back and kind of jazzy, and then they sped it up and made it more of like a rock blues song. So that's pretty cool. That's a cool take.
I like those more than the other way around.
To make it more slow? Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's really cool. Especially if people add some really fuzzy guitars in there. And then I'm all in. All my chips
more
are
guitars. More. 4 more.
Not those kind of guitars. Not the butt rock kind of guitars. Talking about some blues rock guitars with some nice fat crunch on there.
I see some bias going on here.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Ooh. He admits.
Wow. I don't know what your voice just did there, but I liked it. It was good.
That was like old lady yelling.
Yeah. If you could just like talk like that for the rest of the podcast, that would be great.
I think I would lose my throat entirely. I think it would just fall out.
Also, welcome back, Evie, to the podcast.
Welcome back.
It's been a little while.
It's good to have you here.
We forgot to bring the Evie plushie the past like 4 times.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
But now she's here.
But see, now I wore you on my shirt.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Speaking of...
Look at that monocle and that top hat.
Oh, man. So classy.
Class. Nothing but class.
Class. You need to get a little monocle and top hat for this EP as well.
I should.
Wouldn't be that hard. We'll just print one here.
Wait till New Year's when they have the little tiny
the little
New Year's
like
hats and just save one.
that you can get at like Claire's.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. I think she would like that.
I think so.
What do you think, Evie? Wow. She does.
Inspiring.
Speaking of shirts, I'm also wearing a shirt. Repping my buddy Zach Brenner. He listens to the podcast.
Yeah, he's listening.
From his
we love you.
We do. From his new job at in Florence, Alabama, at Singing River Brewing Company. Congrats to him on the new job, and we wish him well, because we know he's going to change the whole place. No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He's going to change the landscape.
But he is going to. I mean,
Hurricane Zach coming in for a landing.
They should consider themselves very lucky to have found Zach, because he's going to do some cool stuff. Indeed. I know he is. He makes good beer. But anyways, that wasn't a sponsor. We just love Zach.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really trying to rack my brain on these covers that I can't think of the ones that I enjoy. There's a lot of White Stripes covers.
Yeah, they did do a lot.
The
of
White
covers.
the White Stripes didn't cover like pop music though. They covered like old blues musicians, like Muddy Waters and Robert Johnson and things
and
like that.
Older stuff no one's heard of.
Yeah, which is how they got away with doing so many covers,
Yeah.
because no one had any
It
idea.
It became public domain at that point.
Yeah, which is smart, because it's easy to fill up an album with songs people haven't heard
true.
before.
That's the thing. Like, I am fine with like bands doing a lot of covers,
Mhm.
like at a live show or something, or do a video on it. But like when it comes to album tracks, too many I think is just like,
Yeah, no, I agree.
kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth.
Because you start to think, or do they not have anything to write about?
Yeah.
Are they just trying to fill it up so it's not just an EP, so it's a full album? I don't know.
Look at these 17-song albums we have. Yeah, but
Oh.
half of it's covers.
No. See, I'm actually pretty happy with just a 10-song album. I think that's a great number. 10 to 12, you're good to go. You don't have to have 20 songs on an album. Not for me, anyways. I'm totally, because it's like you get the job done. You're not there aren't songs in there that you're like, well, we'll just put it in there and it'll fill up time. So we'll have a nice long list of songs.
Now that Holy White Hounds thing is coming to mind.
What?
At the end of that one song.
Which song?
Might as well not waste any more time on a filler song.
Oh yeah.
So funny.
Those guys are a bunch of rednecks.
They are. Oh, they're
I
from
guess.
Iowa.
They just
They're
get-
corn. They're corn rednecks.
they give off that like
Yes.
really hardcore redneck
Hey,
vibe.
There's
What
redneck-
a great show
There's
that was. Though.
rednecks everywhere, dude.
You're right about that.
Not just Southern.
They're all in Australia.
Yes. British rednecks.
Right. That's the whole country, right?
Yes.
Please don't come for us, Australia.
We know you're descendants of criminals. Please don't kill us.
Wow. Wow.
Oof.
Well, what was that? What was that cover you showed me last week? That was that like prog rock cover.
Oh.
It was a
No.
Michael Jackson song too, right?
Oh boy.
Oh, you
No.
got this.
No, it wasn't.
What was it? I don't. I remember you playing it for me,
Oh boy.
but I don't remember
Now I have.
what
to
song
think.
it was. You were so excited to show it to me, Matt.
Maybe I was.
No, I know you
I
were.
don't know what it was though.
I know you were excited. Because the whole thing was basically made from like iPads, which is crazy.
Oh yes, it was the Madel Cohen and Jordan Rudess, the cover of Moves Like Jagger.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Sorry, I'm just pulling up popular cover songs because I'm
You digging?
and a lot of them I don't recognize. I guess I might if
Have you heard them?
I heard them, but you know, and it's funny because a lot. I mean, there's people have been doing covers and putting them on albums since
Yeah.
people
for a
started
long,
making
long
records. Dazed and Confused is a cover song.
Yes.
Um,
That's a cover song that actually was very controversial because it was that bass line was like ripped straight from the other song.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so was it not technically a cover song then?
Like yes and no, because Jimmy Page he was a big studio musician
Yeah,
before Zeppelin,
yeah.
and he did the session on the original song.
Oh,
And then a lot of their early stuff was there was some like cover rips
yeah,
from other things.
yeah. Which people are picking up more on now
Yeah,
because
they got away with a whole lot back then
they did. They did.
because music laws weren't as tight as they are nowadays.
You can get sued for almost anything
Yeah.
nowadays.
But it was very weird because at least on the early stuff, he only did the songs that he had already like played on anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Like
kind of wild.
Like
From like other artists?
Yeah, there was I can't remember what her name was, but he did a song for someone called I think it was White Summer,
Mm-hmm.
and he pretty much borrowed the guitar line from that and put it in another song.
Back when you could do that.
Yeah.
Or could. I mean, I'm sure people probably got mad, but they were like, nah, we're famous. We can do whatever we want to.
Well, that, and back then the sentiment was, man, if they want it that bad, go ahead, they can have it.
Wow. No money out of anybody's pockets, except for theirs because it was going into their pockets.
Yeah.
Matt, did Vanilla Ice ever get into any hot water for that?
I have
for that
no
song?
idea. I have no idea.
Cause I know when the song came out, everyone was like, "Yeah, but that's under pressure."
It's literally the same thing.
And I think his words were, "Yeah, but it's like one. There's like a one note difference, so it's like okay."
Yeah.
I don't think he ever got into any problems with that. But if that
I
had come
doubt
out
it.
now, he'd be broke.
Probably.
He'd be way broke.
Same thing with MC Hammer and Super Freak.
Oh yeah, Super Freak came out before MC Hammer.
Yeah.
So
That was Rick James.
that was Rick James.
I think that was the 70s. I think Super Freak came out in the 70s.
Also a good song. You know, there's a lot of these. We could probably have a whole podcast just on on songs that sound like other songs that aren't supposed to be cover songs. Because I was watching a Watch Mojo video of like songs that are very similar to. I can't think of any of them right now because it's on the spot.
Yeah.
But there are quite a few. "Hurt" by Johnny Cash is
That's
a very,
one of the few that I really do enjoy.
very, very good song.
I was thinking about that one yesterday because it's like, because it's another one that's incredibly different from the original
totally
song.
different. It's
He
actually
even changed the words.
Yeah. I didn't know. I had no idea it was a Nine Inch Nails song until and this was recently, until I saw it on Rick and Morty. Until I heard it on the last episode of the first season.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, somebody did a cover of Johnny Cash's song "Hurt." And I looked it up and I was like, oh wait.
Never mind.
That's the original song. And I had no idea.
Oopsie.
Cuz like whenever Johnny Cash did it, it just sounded like a Johnny Cash song.
Yeah.
And what a badass move to be a country artist and cover a Nine Inch Nails song. It's so cool.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know how long that Trent Reznor has been around either.
Yeah, he's been around since like the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Which is, how old is Trent Reznor?
I mean, I assume he's in like his 50s now.
I'm
Would
gonna
have
look it
to
up.
be 40s or 50s.
Trent Reznor age.
I'm glad you're filling the listeners in on exactly what you're looking up.
He's 54 years old.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Why does he look like Eminem in this picture? Wow.
Hey, how old do you think Eminem is?
He's got to be pushing 60. He has
Yeah?
to be. We'll look it up. Eminem.
I don't think he's that old. I think he might be 50 though.
Maybe. Oh, he's only 46 years old.
Yeah.
I feel like he's been around forever, though.
He has been around a long time. Not as long as Trent, but
No, well,
a while.
Eminem was. Now that I'm thinking about it, but he was like super young then, though, when
Yeah.
he first started coming around.
Or a Marshall, if you will.
Yes, back then, anyways. I'm gonna list some off. All right, and you tell me, good or bad. All right.
All right, I'm ready.
All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix.
That one's good because it's also nothing like
No.
if you've ever heard the old Dylan track, you'd be like, man, it's pretty draggy.
Yeah,
It's very slow.
which was a lot of
very Dylan.
yeah, a lot of Bob Dylan songs were like that.
Yeah.
But whenever because most people didn't know about the Bob Dylan song, or I feel like a lot of people our age probably didn't know much about the Bob
Our
Dylan
age
song.
probably definitely don't, but back then people
Not
did.
not back then. I mean, I'm talking like people our age now. They probably had only ever heard it all by Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
So they heard it a little more upbeat. So when you go back and listen to the Bob Dylan song, oh, this is slow.
Speaking of Bob Dylan covers, a cover that I don't like,
Mm-hmm.
Knocking on Heaven's Door. just because I don't like Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. Just a PSA at all the listeners and watchers. We don't support Guns N' Roses on this podcast.
I hate.
Slash is a good player though.
Yeah.
And what was the rhythm? I actually really like the rhythm guitar player.
Yeah. He's like so extra punk rock
Yeah.
for being in an 80s
Yeah.
metal band.
What is his name?
It's some like weird, fun, goofy name.
Yeah. I can't think of it now.
I think it starts with a D.
Duff
McKagan.
Yeah.
It's so goofy.
But hey, Guns N' Roses now is just it's just the lead guy. I can't even think of his name now.
I
Axl
think
Rose.
they're all back together now.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Even the guitar player?
Well, I don't think Duff is, but
Oh, okay.
Slash and the drummer, whose name I also can't remember.
Yeah, I don't even
and
know.
the
I don't
bass
even
player,
know the drummer's name.
I think they're all back in it.
Yeah, I not a fan of Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. Bleh.
Okay. Let's see. There's some on here that I didn't even know were covers.
That's the tricky thing.
Smells Like Teen Spirit's a cover? No way.
I think they're talking about somebody else cover the song, probably.
Oh, maybe. Sweet Child of Mine. That's not a cover.
No.
This list is weird, man.
Then they're looking at other people who have covered those songs.
Okay. Here, this is one that I definitely know that for sure is a cover.
Yeah.
Drift Away by Uncle Cracker. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about that one? Good or bad?
Bleh.
I never really was an Uncle Cracker fan.
Bleh.
And I love the original song.
He just has that like kind of cringy country voice to me.
Oh, to me, it's almost not even country. I think he's trying too hard to be something else that's not country.
Yeah.
So it comes out to be something kind of poopy. Just not good at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan. But I do like the original song. The Doobie Gray, isn't that his name?
Dobie Gray, I think.
I like Doobie Gray better.
You can call him whatever you want.
Ah, man. You would think popular cover songs, something would come up. But this list is weird. I'm so sad that it's not
It's just
telling me.
Full of angst.
Okay. How about the Marilyn Manson cover of you know what I'm talking about?
I mean, I'm sure I do. But
The girl that did Under Pressure with David Bowie at the Freddie Mercury thing.
Annie Lennox.
Yes. And her band,
It was the Eurythmics.
Eurythmics. Well, what's the song?
Eurythmics, not arithmetic.
No. Oh, I thought it was Eurythmics.
No, Eurythmics.
Oh, Eurythmics.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was Sweet Dreams.
Sweet Dreams.
Yeah.
Sweet Dreams. What do you think about?
I've only ever listened to that like the one time that I looked it up when I was with you.
That the original song?
No.
Oh,
The original song I've heard countless times.
Okay.
The Marilyn Manson cover I've only ever heard like that one time.
Gotcha.
And I was like, wow. The Eurythmics are already a pretty extra band,
Yeah.
but he took it like way extra.
I mean, if there's anybody who's extra, it's him.
Yeah.
He's probably the most extra
He is
in existence.
super extra. It was like it was a lot to process at one time, but it was pretty cool.
I mean, well, because he changed it completely.
Yeah.
Which is what you don't need to do, but in our eyes, I think it's preferred.
Yeah.
Just because
I think most people would appreciate cover songs more if they were at least people that know what the original is.
Oh yeah.
Because I was actually watching a video about this not that long ago about like public perception of cover songs, especially when they know the original is, oh, well, I kind of like the original more.
Yeah.
Because you're used to that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to have a good cover song and make it popular, then
Make it
change
your own.
Yeah. Do something fresh with it. It's like, why build the same statue that's already there?
But I just feel like it's just a lack of talent. I didn't say that. That wasn't me.
Could be that too. Lack of creativity, maybe.
Look at this. Look at this. Well, you can't because it's on my screen.
Yeah.
I'm
My
really,
X-ray vision is coming in handy.
I'm really sad that this is even on my computer screen right now.
Yeah.
The title of this article is called 7 Badass Covers by Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh my God.
7. Number 1, of course, the new song that's out, Blue on Black. Gone Away by The Offspring. I forgot they did that one.
Yeah.
House of the Rising Sun by The Animals.
Yeah, I forgot about that one too.
Bad Company, of course. I feel like Bad Company is like the one that like got them really famous. Maybe I'm wrong.
I would say so.
I didn't know they did this one, but now I want to listen to it just for the comedic reasons. Mama Said Knock You Out by LL Cool J.
Oh my goodness.
I had no idea. It must have been like a track just on an album, probably.
So B-side.
They did a Pantera song.
Yeah, I knew
A New
they did
Level
that.
by Pantera.
There's been a lot of heavy groups nowadays cover Pantera songs because, well, especially recently because the 10-year anniversary of Dime's death was not that long ago.
And I feel like Pantera, I don't know, there aren't, and maybe I'm just oblivious to it because that's not the music I listen to as often, but I feel like there aren't as many like metal, like real metal bands, and I don't even know what qualifies as real metal really, but in like mainstream music.
Yeah. I think Pantera was probably the most publicly renowned metal group of, at least of our time. Because once you got out of the 80s, it was very not popular anymore.
Yeah, because it was like a huge, the hair metal was like a giant fad in the 80s.
Yeah. And
then when that died, metal kind of died too.
Yeah, well, grunge kind of killed it a little bit.
Thanks Nirvana.
Yeah. But I don't know, Pantera kind of endured because they were around a lot in the 90s. Their first stuff was kind of early 90s. When they did like the Monsters of Rock tours and stuff. Yeah. That was huge.
Yeah.
Huge. But yeah. And then they played on SpongeBob, and I was like, wow.
And at the time, I didn't know who they were. Yeah. And then, as we got older, we're like, what? They put Pantera on SpongeBob?
I didn't know this.
Which was also a pretty ballsy move.
Yeah.
To put metal music in a kid's cartoon. But I'm sure the guys in Pantera were like, oh my God, this is awesome.
This is tight.
I'm trying to think of, this is a little off topic now, but other bands that were like kind of metal before the like 90s metal came, or like the 80s metal came around. Because wasn't Black Sabbath considered metal for their time?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because they really weren't.
It sounded nothing. Well, that's what it was at that time.
At that time, yeah, but it like transformed into something completely different because now I think people would just call that just like classic rock.
Yeah. They would just call it like hard rock or
hard rock.
Hard rock, black rock, one of the two.
But I don't know. I just think it's kind of crazy how that genre kind of transformed.
AC/DC was pretty much considered metal back then.
Yeah, and
Kiss.
Kiss for sure. The way they dressed and. But Kiss was 70s, right? 70s and 80s. So that was before the hair metal. So they were dressing in drag. Yeah. Before people were dressing in drag.
They were in, well,
that's not really drag.
A lot of people were.
Well, and in the 70s though. Yeah. Because they came around in what, mid 70s?
It was early 70s. I think 74 was when the first Kiss album came out.
Gotcha.
I can look this up because
Please
I actually just listened to it not long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a good album.
It is a good album. I prefer early Kiss.
Yeah. They got pretty poppy there.
74.
74 was the first album.
February 8th.
I drank it all.
There you go.
For my health.
Yeah, okay. You claim whatever you want.
What do you mean, man?
I will say nothing because I shoveled 2 Reese's down my throat.
Before we started. Matt sat down, put 2 Reese's in front of him. I looked away. I started the camera. I look back. He's eating both the Reese's. They're gone.
They are gone.
They're gone. And before we even got, I was like, Matt, you hungry? He's like, nah, not really.
Not really. I don't have to be hungry.
Quickly downs 2
I do not have to
Reese's.
be hungry to eat Reese's.
No,
all right?
you're right.
It is a weakness of many American citizens.
That's what I tell everybody. You know, after you've had a nice big meal, and you're like, oh man, I'm so full, and then they bring out, you know, pie and cake, and then you go to get some, and they're like, thought you said you were full. It's a whole different stomach, okay?
Yeah.
It's not the same thing.
It's on the side. Right. Don't worry about it.
This
food. Goes straight to my butt. Don't worry about the rest.
Oh man.
No, it'll go straight to your thighs.
And then you'll blow up. Cover songs. I'm just looking them up.
He's
Just
looking
typing
them up.
in.
Well, while you're looking those up, since we're talking about all this music, it's a good time for me to say, what in the world are you listening to?
Man. I'm really glad you I'm really glad you keep the same pace the way you say it, so I
Yeah.
don't have to edit the text very much.
I know.
I shouldn't have said that. Now you're gonna change it next week. Speaking of next week, we have a surprise, but I'll save it for the end. Continue.
Oh yeah, we do have a surprise. And you know what? Speaking of, well, you know, I won't actually divulge that then. But I did listen to the thing.
We'll talk about it, and then we'll
Yeah.
talk about it a lot next week. But
We will talk about it a whole lot next week.
no,
I think the main thing that I've been listening to a lot is actually just a lot of Billy Squier.
really,
Indeed.
I feel like you
Ever since we started, we worked on it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm just gonna dig in.
Mm-hmm.
So I did.
And how's that working out for you?
I mean, I've always liked Billy Squier,
Mm-hmm.
but listening to the not hit tracks
Mm-hmm.
is like, there's still solid stuff on there.
Well, he's a great songwriter
Yeah.
and a very talented musician.
I mean, his first album, all right, Don't Say No, 4 hits on it.
Really?
You had In the Dark, Stroke, My Kind of Lover, and Lonely as the Night, all on that album.
Where did he come from? That's what
He
I
was
want to
in.
know.
He was in another band before that called. It was something weird, and they didn't do a whole lot. But then he just kind of branched out and did his solo thing, and then there he was.
Wow.
And he had a meteoric rise and a terrible fall brought about by a really poorly planned music video.
Yeah. But he made some bank off that one album.
Yes, he did. Well, he made bank off all 3 of those albums.
But that first one with the 4 hits,
Yes.
that's massive. For your first solo album?
Yeah. It was a big deal. Well, his highest selling one was the 3rd one. The one that had the really terrible video was the highest selling thing that he had.
Which one was that?
That was the one with Rock Me Tonight.
See, you played that song for me, and I had never heard it before. But
You don't delve back. You don't delve into classic rock as much as I do.
no,
though.
I don't. But I feel like just as an average classic rock consumer, because I mean, growing up, I did listen to 105.9, and I heard all the big
Yeah.
hits. So and the big hits were Stroke and the ones you said off the first album.
Yeah.
So for that one to be so big and have
I
never
think-
heard it before,
I think the reason they don't play it as much now is because of how it impacted his career.
maybe so. Maybe that's it. That's crazy.
But
Well, good for him.
such is life.
Making his money.
Making that money.
Is he still around?
Yeah.
Okay. That's also pretty incredible because when did he come around in the 70s too?
Yeah, it was late 70s.
And
I think that was 78 was his first
there you
solo
go.
album.
Searching again.
I got to look it up.
Here I go searching again.
No, 81.
81.
The Don't Say No was the second album. My bad.
Okay, so it was late
The-
70s then.
Yeah, his first one was in 79 probably.
Tail end of the 70s.
Da-da-da-da-da. No, just 1980.
So,
Piper was his first band.
never heard of him.
Yeah, you wouldn't have. They did nothing.
But the
No, he had a small hit on the first one, but then the Don't Say No, the second album was the really big one.
Oh, gotcha.
Second through the 4th albums were the huge ones.
So he grew some popularity, which is cool because and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like in those times, in the early 80s, late 70s, it was all about the band.
Yes.
Having a band. There weren't very many just solo acts. I mean, there were a few.
Well, even the people that were solo acts, it was a solo act, but it was a band.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, I mean, they were the face of it, but it was a whole band effort.
Yeah. Oh, and they're a band effort for sure. But like pinpointing it as, hey, we're Led Zeppelin, or hey, we're Kiss, not hey, we're David Bowie. you know.
There wasn't that many of them around.
Exactly. So
definitely not in the rock world.
No, for sure.
Most pop was just
solo stuff. So in the rock world, for him to get so much fame and fortune from being kind of basically just a solo, I mean, I'm sure he had a great band behind him, but
well, it was like late 70s is when that started to pick up more, I think, because you had people like Tom Petty come around then. That was when Bob Seger started getting big too.
Bob Seger, that's
70s,
right.
Early 80s.
But Bob Seger start out as, because people didn't call him just Bob Seger. He was Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. Yeah. But then eventually people would just started saying Bob Seger.
Even it was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Yeah, which I think he pushed quite a bit to say and the Heartbreakers as well.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Because he had his own solo stuff later, which was just Tom Petty.
Just Tom Petty, yeah.
But it was Tom Petty plus there was a lot of Heartbreakers that played on that stuff too.
Sure, but it wasn't the Heartbreakers.
Yeah, it was released under it was label stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. See, there you go.
Indeed.
But I guess that was my point. Is there weren't many.
Yeah, there wasn't
solo
a whole
artists.
Not early on.
Yeah.
Later, definitely late 70s and early 80s is when that stuff started picking up more.
Good for him. Good for Billy Squier.
So there you go.
I'm glad he's still around.
Go listen to Billy Squier.
Go listen to Billy Squier.
It's important. You'll remember it. You'll be like, man, my dad listened to this. And I listened to it. I'm your dad.
Matt's your father now. Everyone.
I'm your dad.
What I've been listening to, I listened to two things yesterday and today. Two new things I hadn't listened to before.
Yes.
Number one, which you might be surprised or I might not be surprised, was the new Miley Cyrus EP. Okay.
I am pretty surprised.
Are you really? Yes, and no.
Moderately.
So I listened. It's like a 5-song EP, and it's actually really good. And I know that's crazy of me to say, but I will say Miley Cyrus is a very talented vocalist. I know she's pretty controversial and she's a little wacky, but she is a very talented vocalist. Speaking of covers and Miley Cyrus, she did that cover of Jolene. Have you watched that or listened to that?
I have definitely heard it.
It's really good.
I haven't watched
It's
the video.
It's very, very good. It was like right before she went into like crazy Miley, right before the Wrecking Ball thing. But it was a really good cover. But this EP, I think it's called "She Is Coming." that's the EP, which pretty much already tells you
double entendres.
But it also pretty much tells you the premise of what the EP is about. It's very leftist. So, but that's just Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
But what's cool about it is I feel like it's like one of the first things she's put out in a long, because I've listened to some of her other stuff and it's good stuff. But I feel like this is like one of the first times after the Wrecking Ball thing that she's like becoming more of putting out stuff that it's more Miley Cyrus and not her trying to be more of like a jock artist.
Well, I think the main reason she did that was to break away from the Disney girl thing.
And that, I mean, really,
I think that's the main reason why any of them do it.
Yeah, they have to, and they either go completely crazy or they look crazy, but in the back of their minds they're like, well, I'm just doing this so I can continue on my career and not be a Disney Channel pop star for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure they would make plenty of money doing. She could have kept being Hannah Montana for the rest of her life and made millions and billions of dollars.
Billions for sure.
Yeah, but I respect her for not doing that. I know what she did was a little crazy. But I mean, if you wanted to do your own stuff and break away from that, yeah, that's kind of what you have to do.
Yep.
And but no, that's how I felt about this EP. It's kind of rootsy, but it also has that like pop feel. There's some like rap elements in there too. It's out there, but it's pretty good. It has a lot of really good good vibey songs. I don't know how to word it exactly, but it sounds good. I like it a lot.
Drinking your Dunkin' coffee using the word vibey. You're becoming a white girl.
So I listened to that, and then also today I texted you and sent you the picture of it.
Yeah.
Since we've been playing with SETI Mac, I was like, well, I'm gonna go back into his catalog and listen to his previous releases because I haven't. I've only listened to his newer stuff and the stuff we've been playing live. And he has this EP called Level Up, and it's like it's almost like a concept album, really.
In a way, yeah. At least from the song titles.
From the song titles and the songs, it's very, very video game and like anime inspired.
Yeah.
I don't know if you listened to any of the songs, but
yeah, I listened to like Harajuku. I listened to that one, and then the last one on the album,
Goku Black, really good song.
Yes.
But like, there's some parts of the songs where it just kind of like breaks down, and you can hear like Mario noises in the background, or like the end of one song, it sounded just straight like an anime theme song. It's really cool. So it reminds me a lot of like Childish Gambino or Drake. So I would go and listen to that. So it's called Level Up by SETI Mac. Go and listen to it. It's really good.
Admire that artwork.
Yeah, the artwork is really cool.
That was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. It has like Pokemon references, anime references. There's One Punch Man in there somewhere. It's nuts.
Hanging out in the back.
Yeah. So go check that out. That's what I've been listening. I've been trying to listen to some new stuff. Break away from my mold of listening to the same thing over and over again.
If you said Raconteurs again this week, I was gonna punch you.
No Raconteurs and no Queens of the Stone Age either. Although I did listen to.
I know what you did.
What did I listen to?
I know what you did.
Tell me what I did. Tell me. What I did.
know you listened to. Here comes the Sunday driver.
No,
again.
no, not that. I mean,
yes.
Actually, I did. I haven't this week yet. I haven't listened to it this week.
Yeah.
What I was gonna. Now I'm gonna do it on the way home. No, I listened to Like Clockwork.
Yeah.
Because it's the something anniversary. I don't remember. I don't know.
5th anniversary.
Maybe. But they were posting about it, and I was like, I'm going to go back and listen to Like Clockwork. So I did.
There you go.
But anyway, so yeah, that's what we've been listening to. There you go. Go listen to the things we listen to.
Listen to them.
Do it. So yeah, basically, thanks for being nice, Matt.
You're welcome.
In a nutshell, speaking of the topic of the podcast, if you're going to cover a song, make it your own song.
Indeed.
You don't have to. But we prefer it.
It sounds better that way.
It's way cooler. And
I mean, don't make it suck, but
yeah.
if you make it your own and you suck, well,
what we're trying to say is, if you want to cover a song, here's our number and call us, and we'll tell you what to. No, I'm kidding. But no, don't.
There's a form that you need to fill out, 24-B.
Right.
And we'll send it back to you.
Right. There's gonna be it's gonna be taxed. Whatever money you make off of it.
There will be some fees, but.
But no, I mean, you can do it the exact same way, whatever. You do what you want to do, but I feel like it's way more fulfilling if you create something that
at least
wasn't
if you're
already
gonna
there.
record it and put it on an album.
Yes, for sure.
If you're playing it live, you do whatever you want.
There you go. Especially if you're
do what the people want.
Yeah, because if they're gonna tip you, then you do whatever they want you to do. So there you go. There's the podcast. That's it. Next week.
Ooh.
Next week. And we're gonna keep our fingers crossed for this one.
Yeah, hopefully.
We're gonna have the elusive,
so elusive,
and very hard to get a hold of. But I think he might be here next Wednesday, which is what we did today, Wednesday. We're getting you ready for next Wednesday. We're gonna have Patrick Long of the Low Blows on the podcast, or the Low Blow.
The Low Blow.
Low Blow. But are they each individually, like, together, the Low Blows?
No. I think it's just the low.
We'll ask him next week.
We'll find out.
He's going to be here. We're going to talk about, they put out a new EP. They had an EP release party. They've been teasing something about something coming out this Friday. I think it might be a music video. So we're going to have him in. We're going to talk about the way he writes and the way he manages all of these things that he does. How does he have any time to do anything? I don't know.
When does he sleep? You will find out.
We'll find out about that and more next Wednesday. Also, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for clicking that play button on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or SoundCloud or Spotify. Really appreciate it.
Hey, we like that. We like that you do that.
Yeah, and if you're watching, thanks for watching. Thanks for
Thank
going
you.
to our page and clicking the play button on YouTube, because that's the only place you can see it.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll just...
Unless someone's stolen it and uploaded it to X video, I
Man.
guess it could be there.
I hope they have, but I hope they gave us titties. All right.
Yeah, edit me in some like double D. I mean, just like sit them on top of the desk.
Yeah, please do. Also, speaking of Seti Mac, we're going to be playing a show with him at Hadley Park in Nashville for the first annual Tilt Fest. And I think that's June something. It's next
17, I think.
Yeah, maybe something. I don't know. I don't
It's
have
in,
it on my
It's
phone.
in like 2 weeks from now.
We'll be posting about that on our page. So if you want to know when that is and you'd like to come out and see it, we'll be posting the information
21st.
21st. There you go. So it's going to be, we'll post more about it on our Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that. All you have to do is type in Stray Nova and you'll see our faces. And click like and follow. And that's it. That would be great. We'd really appreciate it. And until next week, I'm Dalton.
I'm Matt.
This is Evie.
That's Evie.
And this has been Nova Talks.
Indeed it has.
We'll talk at you next week.
Bop-boom, bop-boom, bop-a-mow-mow.
Oh, I thought we were going to start something.
No. No.